A crafty veteran, and that means very good and lots of experience.
Well, he's throwing punches, and he knows that
oh, there goes the mouthpiece of Zaragoza. Zaragoza has not got wobbly legs yet, but the mouthpiece definitely was knocked out. Now Zaragoza again claiming that he was buttered, and the crowd highly partisan in favor of Banke, booing it. Oh, it's starting to bleed again. That's another cut. The top of the head is bleeding. Zaragoza might have been butted. The top of his head is bleeding, and you don't get many punches at the top of the head to cut you.
No, not even a bare fist. A head, that's the only cut. That's the only cut. A high on top of the head can be
Paul
cut by
is the one with the white shorts.
Now, where this new cut is, we can't see because it's in the hair.
It's the first one.
However, I don't believe it's any kind of a cut that would ever stop a fight.
Paul Banke just landed a good right hook, Chick, that hurt Zaragoza.
When he knocked his mouthpiece out, that hurt him too. And this is a fine recovery now by young Banke. He jars ahead of Zaragoza. End the round. So, after a minute and a half of inactivity, basically speaking, young Paul Banke, the real Paul Banke, stood up, and he really gave a fine boxing lesson in the final seconds.
He sure did, and that was definitely a hit, but I hope we've got it on camera, Chick, because that blood is flowing very, very freely off the top of the head of Zaragoza.
Well, I'll have to admit, we're pretty close to the ring, like 6 inches, and I didn't see it. There they're going after the cut on top of his head, deep down in the hair. That'd never stop a fight. Might cause you not to sleep well. So the eye was reopened. A new cut was inflicted, and here comes Banke. He's across the ring already. The referee, Rudy Jordan, says, get back, get back. How you got it going now to the 8th round?
Well, I gave that round to Paul Banke, 68 to 67.
There is a mark, an abrasion under the right, the right eye of Zaragoza. A new mark has shown now. In addition to the cut, there is a mark under the eye on the cheek. Not going to call it a cut yet.
Now Paul has turned this fight around, Chick. He's got to go after him now. He's got to reach behind, reach in that bag and pull something out of it.
Banke leading it on your card, 68-67. That's a throwdown. That's not a knockdown.
Zaragoza's not able to counterpunch like he was in the last few rounds. That was right on the cut.
The cut on top of the head is bleeding more profusely than the eye cut for Zaragoza. Banke has not been cut. Banke opens the cut with a slashing left hand. A left cross, if you like.
Chick, I noticed one thing about Zaragoza now. He's throwing one punch at a time, trying to take Banke out. Paul should throw combinations and get out of there.
If you were cut as bad as the champion is, I think his plan is well understood. Get one shot home that'll take him out. Of course, you've still got...
Thank you so much for being here today. We have an amazing speaker today. We have Paul Banke here with us. We have he will tell you about his story. I shared a little bit of his video. He is a world champion, and here it is for you, Mr. Paul Banke. Banke, go ahead and take it away. Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Can you hear me? Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, we can hear. We have a lot of students here ready for you to listen to your story of struggle as you were growing up and conquering the world champion. And then you can take it from there.
Okay. Good morning. First of all, thank God. And thank God. My name is Paul, and I'm an alcoholic. When I say that, Paul, I'm an alcoholic, that's part of my story. I'll show the story later when I say I'm an alcoholic. First, I got to thank you, my sister Olga. When I tell people, my sister and brothers, we're not brothers and sisters, but in God's eyes, we're brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So I like saying that. I call everyone my brothers and sisters. I don't like to call them, hey, homie, hey, dog, you're fool. I'm not like that. I call them my brothers and sisters. It's much easier. Um, so I told Ogie last night I wasn't going to practice. I don't practice my speech no more because it don't come out the same. I talked to a couple of juvenile halls, a couple of kids, handful of kids before, many times. And so this is a blessing. This is the first time on Zoom in a whole hour. Wow.
Right.
Scary, scary. So it's a blessing. But I'm honored to be here. Thank you. And then, first of all, I want to say, they say all the time, when you help, if you can help one person by sharing your story, it's a blessing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I want to help hundreds, a lot more than one. I'm greedy like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so here we go on the Zoom. And then, yeah, whatever happens here, uh, don't let no one says. Let me start first. Don't let nobody tell you that you cannot do nothing. Do whatever you want. If you're an athlete, any sport, I don't care, baseball, I don't care if you're shooting marbles, be the best one out there. If you're a rapper, be a rapper. A singer, be a singer. Be the best. Only no one tell you nothing. You're gonna get a lot of obstacles come at you different ways. But be the best out there. Don't matter what. Just keep doing what you have to do. And it goes, here we go, I guess. I'm not gonna say it right away, and I hope I can jump. Say I started walking at this age. I'm not gonna go there. I started boxing at 12 years old. So what happened was I didn't play a sport. I played football and baseball, and it took too long. I was a single parent mother, like a lot of people are these days, single parents. I think Mexican American. What happened was I gotta get up and walk. I can't do this. So what happened is I played a sport at 12 years old. I started boxing, and what happened was uh, when I boxed at 12 years old, if you're playing a sport, you're lucky to go next town over. At 12 years old, I was going to Arizona, Vegas, New Mexico, Texas, California. And that's a blessing. At 12 years old, doing all these traveling, the sport. I go, wow, this is great. You gotta understand, I'm a poor Mexican. I was brought poor and stuff. A single parent mom, and for doing a sport like that, I had to travel right away. It was a blessing. I always got gifts. And at 15 years old, I traveled back east. At 15 years old, I went to Ohio, and that's a blessing. I go, wow, you know what I'm saying? At 16, and at 16 years old, I went to New Zealand, all the way around Earth, New Zealand. I've been in 12 countries, very blessed. Thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was brought with my mom, a single parent mom, like I said, and then we went to live with my aunt and uncle. Well, mom was a farm worker, a union organizer, and having a father was no biggie. It was, no biggie, you know what I'm saying? But oh my gosh, this is tough. This is so. What happened is so when we play a sport at boxing, it starts well. I'm gonna jump around, jump. It's okay. I'm crazy like that. But listen, when I start the sport of boxing, I started traveling, and my dream was to go to 84 Olympic Games, to 1984 Olympic Games, and I was here in LA. And what happened was I lost the Olympic trials to Stephen Corey. He went on and won a gold medal in 84 Olympic Games. He represented the United States, and he won a gold medal. And my heart was broken, man. Oh my God! That's all I wanted was to win the gold medal, fight for the United States. I didn't get that, so it was tough. So I did a little work, construction, got pro and stuff. And then so what happened was I got caught up in a little bit of drug scene, and got out of it, in and out of it. But then I went pro, stayed pro. Uh, this is tough. But it happened is um I mean, you know what? I want to say I have peer pressure friends and stuff. I just do it. I always got caught up in the same scene. But the boxing, I just kept on going back into boxing. Boxing always kind of saved me. Boxing saved me a lot because I had to discipline myself. And that's a blessing. Thank God, it made me the person I am, what I'm saying? Boxing too. I mean, this is tough. This is tough. But so, so I fought. Let me get into it now. So I fought for the world title. I had around 20 fights. I fought for the world title. When you fight for the world title, you don't get a title shot at 20 fights. Now you do, but not back then you didn't. I started making money, made 75,000 in one night. I was like, wow, man, the money was getting good. But I fought for the world title, and it was scary for me, because that's all I wanted to become world champion. I never imagined that. But I came fought for a world title. I fought the guy that knocked him down in the ninth round. I fought him again. He was resistant when 12 rounds. He got the decision. And then a year later, I fought him again, April 23rd, 1990. This time, I knew I was going to get him. I knew I was going to get this guy because I was scared. I was scared the first time. Second time, I knew where I was at. And I wanted this dream. I want this thing so bad, so bad. And even when I think about it today, I still can't believe I became world champion. Then when I stopped him, she'll show you later on there. I stopped him in the ninth round again, and the referee canceled the fight. Oh my God, I never forget. My ears popped. Everybody was all screaming. All my people were happy. I never forget. I couldn't hear nothing. It was like a dream. My ears popped. I couldn't hear nothing. Everybody's hugging me. And I was, wow. And I just couldn't hear shit. Excuse me. I couldn't hear nothing.
Sorry, Paul.
No, really, cuz. But so what happened was, becoming world champion. For some reason, I became like it's a funny thing. I'm not all that, but I became a supermodel. Some people were coming at me for some reason I got better looking or something. I don't know what happened. I became world champion. Something happened because people were coming at me crazy. Like, man, what's all these girls are coming at me different ways. It was just cool. It was cool. It was good atmosphere. But the drugs came involved. The drugs came involved quicker. I want to say about a lot of athletes, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is I can choose the right road or I can choose the wrong road. I choose the wrong road that time, and I got involved in the drug scene. Um, that was my downfall. I kept on doing drugs, and this is hard.
Hey, Paul, real quick. So how old were you at that point? When you said you went into the drug scene, how old were you?
Well, I done drugs since before I became world champion. The way I was doing dope was not a good way of doing dope. Doing drugs, and then I got off for a minute and got back into it again. And then I was going to fight for the title. I quit. Basketball like that. So yeah, so I quit. Drug was always in my lifestyle, but when I was getting for a fight, I calmed down for a little bit and get ready for a fight. You know what I'm saying? But after I became world champion, a lot more things came at me crazier, and people came at me, family came at me different. And it was a blessing to be world champion, but some people can hold it and can control it. I didn't know how to control it. I didn't know how to. I was like a kid going up there. I was 26 years old, and people were it was just weird, it was weird for me. Normal people, I had to keep on going. I didn't know how to carry myself like a world champion. I didn't know how to act that way. I was just acting, whatever. But
Paul, I wanted to ask you about going back to when you were growing up in the Bay Area, which actually you are from the Bay Area, and your mom was a farmer, a union worker, and you guys have to move from different places. You have to go to different schools, and that's the struggle that a lot of our kids have. They have to go from this school to that school, and it's tough for them to adjust, and especially right now with this quarantine. We have to adjust to teach and to learn through the computer. So how did you adjust when you were moving from school to school? How was that for you?
I'm telling you what, believe it or not, that helped me out today. Even today, I can talk to anybody often because me when I went to school, you're right. I was in San Bernardino, Santa Rosa, Phoenix, Arizona, Napa, Puerto Vallejo. We traveled. My mom was a hippie, and so every time we went to school, when you go to class, when you go to a school, people don't talk to you because you're first a new student. Not me, man. I was so innocent. I was like, I like to talk. So right away I got along with everybody. So it made me doing every classes, different school. I've been in a lot of schools. You're right. So it was very comfortable. I got used to it, so it was comfortable for me. Some people, I mean, that was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I'm very good stuff like that. You know what I mean? But to adjust, I adjust normally. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't- but I know people that go to different schools. They don't talk for a whole year because they got a new school. Not me. I talk right away.
So that's a good way. That's something that I guess we can take out of it. Just go with the punches, go with the flow, and try to be relentless and resilient,
And
right?
keep asking questions like this is better for me. I can talk.
That's great. Hey, you
Can
want
I
to
ask
tell us
you?
about when you were 12 years old? You said that's when you started boxing, right? And the YMCA. You want to talk about your coaches? How did they motivate you to become a boxer? Number one.
Well, I started at 11 in Hillsburg, out there in Hillsburg, right there, or yeah, Hillsburg. I live in Santa Rosa. We started out there, but I never boxed. Just worked out there. And we moved to Phoenix, Arizona. You see, from there, from San Bernardino, then Phoenix. Um, from Phoenix, I started boxing at 12. But the coaches, it was just a sport. It was fun, you know. I never hung out with the homeboys and homegirls. My homeboys and homegirls were in the gym. You know what I'm saying? That's why
Good.
boxing took care of me a lot of ways. I was never a gang member. I couldn't tell you stories about being a homeboy. That was never me. You know what I'm saying? My homeboys and my homegirls were in my gym. Um, but no, it was great. You know, the sport was like I never imagined I'd become world champion. I mean, it's too out of my way. You know what I'm saying? But being with all people in the gym was just everybody's trying to compete. You know?
So what motivated you at that time to keep going, to keep boxing?
Oh yeah, you when I was a young kid in my life, this is true. When you fight for one fight, if you win or lose, you get a trophy. That's back in the 70s and 80s and 90s too. And you get a trophy. I'm not lying. I had a house full of trophies. I had 176 amateur fights. So you got to understand, 26 losses. But what happened was, I wanted a trophy. Every time I got a trophy or you got a shirt or something, you always got a plaque or something, a trophy. So what helped me motivate is just I want a trophy. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. It was fun. It was good sport.
Hey, Paul, can I ask you, did you have a coach who was like a father figure who you really like trust and like protect you? Because I think for boxers in the boxing world, um, especially, you really need somebody to like fully trust. Like we all athletes, we're like a little kids, and you need that direction of somebody to be your father.
Right.
Anybody?
You know what? That's good too because I never. I guess you're right because I never had a father in my life. You know, and everybody said, "Oh, we having a father in your life." That didn't bother me having a father. I maintained it okay. You know, it was normal. People say, "Oh, this happened because I didn't have a father." Boy, that was normal. But you're right. The coaches were my fathers. Every coach was my father. I would say Willie Butcher was strict. I had I had I had a lot of coaches, but my manager when I became world champion was a strict one. He was a father figure really because he put me in check. He's the one that straightened me out. And yeah, he was a millionaire. He said, "Listen to me." He kept on pointing at me. I never had a man tell me that you just. And back then I was like 22 to 21 years old. I was like, man, okay, who the hell do you think he is? But he had me a nice house, having a place. I was like, man, I've been 5 acres, one of the best camps in Southern California. But all my trainers were father figures. You know what I'm saying? I learned from everybody. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of trainers. Nothing to brag about. I had a lot of trainers. But in a way, also having so many trainers in boxing is not good. But then again, enough time you grab everything off of each trainer too, and builds you up. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it's good. But my manager was when I became world champion was like a father figure. Even though he was strict, that's hard when a man tells me what to do. But I'm disciplined that way when a guy tells me what to do.
So discipline, it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. Whenever we are in trouble, our discipline is what brings us up. And it's so important right now in these times of quarantine for us to be disciplined, to have a schedule and to follow whatever it is that we need to do. So also I remember when your mom got sick and you have to go and live with your uncle. He was also very disciplinary, right? Your
Yeah.
uncle?
Yeah, you're right. It gotta be in my book, 'cause I said so in my book. I got a book. I haven't even read the
Okay.
book yet. But I know it's in a book. Yeah, my uncle's a Marine drill sergeant, and we go live with him, and very strict, and very strict. But it was disciplined too. I needed that father figure too for him. You know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing.
Yeah, we have your book right here, which we're going to get some to share with the students as well. Commander is going to sponsor 4 books, and we're going to try to get our school and other schools to buy it, because I think it's a very inspiring story. So I'll read a little bit on the back. It says, stellar, amazing boxing career, 176 fights, 150 wins, including fighting in the team USA in 12 countries. So that is something that it's hard to accomplish. 176 fights, 150 wins, and you travel in 12 countries, and then you become a pro and the WBC World Super Bantamweight Champion in 1990. And so let's go back now. You were an Olympic hopeful at a young age. The boycott, the Olympics in 1980 were boycott, but then in 1983, when we continue with Russia, you were able to travel to Russia and to fight over there. You want to tell us about that fight?
The I was in Russia. I always want to go to Russia. Who didn't want to go to Russia? So we went over there in Russia, and you got to remember, I was like 16, 17 years old. And I was probably 17 years old then. And then went to Russia. It was great. And even today, I can tell you this. Even today, as a professional for all my professional fights, never the Russian crowd was the biggest crowd ever. Have you ever been to California, the Coliseum in California? That's how many people were in the Russia Stadium. I mean, it's packed like layers. Like, oh my God! It's on ABC World Sports to the fight, and they're in. But the fight was scary, and we were going before the we were in the dressing room. I was like joking around. Like I was like, "God, Paul, you can hear the crowd is going crazy." And we're on US 18, where everyone's all nervous. I mean, I was like all joking, talking smack, you know, so nervous. But I went in there and fought this guy. His name was Rasim Kabirov. And what happened was great fight, went 3 rounds on ABC All Sports, a blessing. Tough fight, but they boo in Russia. They boo. That's how they boo. They whistle. I didn't know how that was, and I was like, listen, I couldn't hear nothing. I was so nervous. I threw a lot of punches. Matter of fact, Mike Tyson told me that he saw the fight, and he told me some good stuff. But what happened was, so I was nervous as heck for the fight. I think my nervous being won the fight because I threw so killing on punches. I got so scared. I wanted this guy beat me up. I won the fight. And then they interviewed me, and it was great. And I was looking at when they were interviewing me, I'm looking at all the crowds, all the people, man, thousands of people. Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. It was like, man, I was like 17 years old or something like that in Russia. And when I came back, Mike Tyson told me he was with oh, I saw you fight. I saw a fight, great fight, champ, good fight. You know, so I was all happy when Mike said it. But Mike was just, we were all normal back then, you know. So when Mike told me that back then, I'll never forget that. You know, so that was a blessing. But yeah, Russia was a great time for being there. I was there for 7 days. It was a blessing. The food was like bad. We went to American Embassy. It was bad, but it was cool. You know, very blessed to go to Russia. You know what I'm saying?
That's great. You were one of the wins in that trip for the USA. They were one of 4 wings.
Right.
Yes, that's good. And then let's see what else. Julieta, what do you Ms.
No,
Ramirez?
I just wanted to say that since I'm Bulgarian, I also speak Russian and I know the mentality. I think you were with a great admiration from the people there. Because sometimes you can go and compete in other countries. And if you're not good, doesn't matter if you're on, they can boo you, but they really respected you. And that was a great admiration from their part. That's what I want to say, that they really admire you. And that was a very, very a different feeling to see, of course, an American, because this was behind the Iron Curtain. I grew up behind the Iron Curtain. So everybody who comes and you show that you can win against them, they admire you. So just to let you know that.
Well, I didn't know that. Look at you. That's first part.
Yes, that's what they did. They really admire you, and they can crucify it even their own. If they're not good, they'll crucify them. But you won, and this actually brought, like Americans say, to a different level the whole thing. Yes, just to make the point of the whole thing.
I like that. I didn't know that.
And people in events like that, people are more free to really express who they are. We were oppressed sometimes to express, like we couldn't go to like rock concerts and be like crazy, but in that way, it's easier to. So I wanted to just say that and know that you inspire a lot of, and you fill their heart with a good feeling. Yeah. Like you ambassador, you an American ambassador in a good way to Russia.
I never forget the Russian team was coming in. And I saw, the American teams are all Mexican, whites, blacks, and a couple Mexicans and mostly black guys. And the Russian guys were coming in. I said, okay, Russia. Hey, what's that Korean guy doing there? There's a Korean guy.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, how that Korean guy jumped in? It's like a Mexican American, I guess, right? Korean Russian.
Yeah, they mixed a lot there, but you were great.
There. So another thing real quick. So they're waking me up at nighttime. They're knocking on my door. They want Levi's back then. They want Levi's. They're knocking Levi's.
Yes.
They got Levi's. Levi's. What the hell? You knock on my door o'clock or I'm sleeping. They want Levi's. They want to buy Levi's.
Yeah, they were $100. We used to collect like money and stuff so you can buy a Levi's. So.
But it's Americanized now. It's Americanized out there. It's a lot Americanized, right?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. But again, we were forbidden to have Western goods. So if you travel and you go somewhere, they'll buy everything you have because nobody have it. And, that's the difference. And even here, people don't maybe understand how important it is to travel. And through your sport, like you said in the beginning, you managed to go from another state to another state to another country. And some people in America for their lifetime, they never did that. They never achieved, they never opened your eyes. So your eyes were more open and you're more global. And that's what everybody should do. And that's what the sport does. Right. The whole point to expose you. And we were talking yesterday that I came to America, and Miss Camacho, my sister, is the one who also helped me to establish in America. She gave me a hand, and that's how I stay and I wrestle. So it's all that global thing you also did.
Just
yes.
like the boxing family, wrestling family. Once you, let's say you decide what to do, that they embrace you. They treat you like a family forever. It's been, I don't know, 20 years and we're still...
More than 20 years. More than 20 years.
Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
So then I'm gonna, Paul, if you don't mind, I'm gonna put a little bit of your, when you knocked this guy, you won the world champion. If anybody has a question, type it on the chat. And after this, we're going to take some questions.
Shouting Banke. And I'm sure there's a lot of people here shouting Goza, first hour Goza.
Oh, there's a cut beneath the right eye now of Daniel Zaragoza.
That could be a real bad one. It looks very deep from here. But fortunately, below the eye, You're not very
Oh,
often.
this is the second or
gonna
third
get a
time
fight
you
stopped.
fight him.
Second time. Second time.
On the ropes, Zaragoza absorbing punishment here in round 9. And a different tempo to start the round by Banke.
He has come out very, very strong in this round. He's got to quit doing that. He's got to quit posing after landing those combinations. It's like swimming upstream, chick. You do so well and just pose and let this guy start beating you. He's got Zaragoza's left eye nearly shut. He's got to be able to land those right hooks.
This is not an easy fight to referee, but the superior work of John Thomas has never been more in evidence. Right above us now. The champion getting in some shower and zone. And here's Banke fighting back. Zaragoza covering up. Zaragoza appears to be in trouble, but he fights off of the ropes. Oh, good job!
Wow.
A left hand put him down.
In the 9th round, just like their last meeting.
In June, he knocked him down in the 9th. He knocks him down now. He properly answers the questions of John Thomas. And this could be a 2-point round unless Zaragoza can counter with a knockdown of his own.
Now let's see if Paul can capitalize again. He's hurt.
Legs are wobbly. Take it easy, Wood. And Zaragoza says, come on, you're not going to beat me unless you knock me down. Boy, is he tough. Banke's hit him with everything but the ring post. The referee has to determine when a man cannot defend himself. That has not come into play at all yet. Zaragoza is defending himself.
He's awfully hurt, chick.
I know it.
Those body shots have hurt him. He can't see. I don't think he wants to continue.
That's it. He's out.
That's it.
Wait a minute. The winner is Paul Banke, the new champion. And the first to extend congratulations, put his arm around the champion, is the ex-champion, Daniel Zaragoza, whose face is a mass of blood. It is a portrait of how badly cut a man's face can be. Not in one place, in many places. The doctor comes to the side of the ring and asks Zaragoza, do you need my help? And Zaragoza says, no, I don't. I'm merely a beaten fighter. Let me get my senses together. He wants to walk
Was
by
that your
himself.
trainer, Paul?
He wants to think about Emily, his wife, and his kids, Daniel and Wendy. And he wants to realize that he made 5 successful defenses, and finally it came to an end. What a courageous champion, and what an outstanding
This is what I
new
like.
champion
After that,
as they embrace
friend.
at mid-ring. Budweiser Championship Boxing. On Prime Ticket, the world
Of course, I didn't stop it. Paul, great.
in the 9th round.
You know what? It's 9:40 already. I can't believe that. Time went by quick. What?
So,
Are you serious?
Paul, you want to tell us how do you feel after this fight, right? What was the feeling of winning? And
I got. I was scared afterwards. For some reason, I got scared. I'm not lying. I accomplished a dream that I could never imagine a dream. I was scared. I got scared. Frank. I was happy, but I was scared. Life came at me different. It was scary for me. Like I said, a lot of people could control the title, being a world champion. I was scared. I was like, I was happy, but I was scared too. I accomplished a dream. It was tough. I was happy. I won it. It was a blessing. People, like I said, people came at me different ways. Their family, friends, everybody. It was, man, I got here again. Like I said, I became like a supermodel. I wasn't no supermodel, but girls would come at me like, what the hell? You know, like, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, they wouldn't come at me before. Now they come at me like that. And it was, you know what I'm saying? But it was weird. It was different. You know, I was like, you know, like I said, I couldn't have it. And then the drug scene got more and more, and you know,
but focus
I got caught
on that. But all the work, you beat him, you fought him the first time and you lost. And then you said, I want to come back and beat him. So you went back and you practiced and you trained hard. You were disciplined and you came back. Tell us about that journey from the first fight to this championship.
The first fight I was scared too, but you know what happened? I went 12 rounds with the guy, world champion. And I thought, man, I'm gonna beat this guy, but I didn't beat him. So I went back in the gym. And then I ran, I trained, and mentally, I got and conditioning. I did it. And that was, I did hard. That was the best time ever in my life because I trained hard, off everything, straight, sober. I went for the fight. I wanted this fight because now I've been there before, and I can get this time. I went to the door, step before, I couldn't get in. Second time, I'm gonna get in this time, and I took it to him, and I was serious. The first time I was kind of cocky. Second time I wanted, so I trained hard. I disciplined. I listened. I ate right. I did everything. You gotta eat right too. Very important. People that just train, you gotta eat right too and healthy. And in life in general, everything you do, work, school, you gotta be around positive people. You know what I'm saying? You can have a lot of negative people come around you. That always happens, but you don't want them. You negative, stay away from you. You know what I'm saying? You want the positive.
That's right. So we have a question from one of the students, and he's asking, what was the question? What were you thinking during your first fight? What were you thinking at the time of your first fight, especially during the fight and then after the fight when you lost the first time?
The first time, to be honest with you, I wanted this guy. I was kind of cocky at first. Like I wanted this guy. If you watched the beginning of the round, I was like strutting this guy, and cause he was older than me. But I thought he's going down. I'm gonna get this guy. I'm a young buck. I'm hungry still. And what happened was, it didn't happen. He outsmarted me. He was a smarter fighter. That's how I learned. You know, you learn. Don't judge a person the way he look because he's older. Don't mean nothing. He's a smart fighter. He's a good fighter, man. Still three-time world champion, a legend. You know what I'm saying? And when I lost it, I thought, damn, man, I fought for those times, but I lost it. But I knew I was gonna get it. It came a year later. I knew I was gonna get it happen again. I knew it would happen again.
You knew it was going to happen because you knew you were going to be disciplined and train and come back and beat his booty, right?
I tell you what, the game that Dr. Jerry Buss, owner of the Lakers, he owns the Lakers. He's my promoter. He only hit the forum, and he wanted me to get that title shot. We're gonna get you. He told me after the fight. He walked in the dressing room and said, "I lost the first. We're gonna get you back in the gym, get that title shot again. It's ever goes again." And he told me after the fight, so I was like, "Okay, boom." And you know, I don't want to say it's a business game. It's all about the money. He had money. He wanted to put that game. I knew I was gonna get that fight again. So when he told me that, boom. Next time that fight comes, I'm going for it, man. I'm going for it. So yeah, you know.
That's good. Let's see, you train hard. Okay, so now let's we got anybody else wants to ask another question about the boxing or let me see. We have a question from Mr. All right, so you won the championship and then you got all the fame, and of course with fame, one of the things that happens, I believe, with young athletes, they teach them sometimes the hard work. They teach them how to get there, but then once they get there, they don't teach you how to maintain it, how to stay positive, like you said, how to stay away from drugs and from people that always want. Always, you know, they're jealous. There's a lot of jealousy, especially when you're at the top and you're like, how is this guy, you know, a champion? So they start giving you stuff, drugs that they don't, you know, that you shouldn't have. And let's see, I lost my thread. There was a question, how do you turn pro? Anyway, so then there was no a book to tell you how to do it.
No guidance.
No guidance.
No guidance, exactly. So now, what would you say to some of the kids now? What would be your message to? I mean, stay positive, stay clean, But what would you say to the kids?
Oh, I was going. Of course, don't ever do drugs. Don't that. You know what? You can see. I mean, you know what? It's year 2020. I'm sure these kids got mom, dads, cousins, family members. Somebody.
Not everybody. Yes.
No, everybody has somebody, a cousin or somebody got drinking problem or drug problem. I mean, you can be open out. So they know, they see what happens to their cousin, whoever, a family member or friend that caught up in the scene. They know it's a bad thing. And they saw him before, and I look at how he looks now, or her, or whatever. So yeah, don't ever do drugs. Don't even attempt it. Just keep going straight, go forward. You know what I'm saying? Because you already see what it does. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask you, Paul, why people do drugs? That's the other thing we didn't have back in the, why people go to drugs. Why did you go? What did you replace? I know it's a father figure, the fame, you couldn't deal with the, why? Because the young ones need to know that they can have another way, but why did, like, what made you start? That's the question.
What made me stop? What made me get into it?
Like, yeah, why you want to take a drugs? What that changed in you? I'm not sure how to ask.
You know what? Back in the 80s and stuff, the kids back there were smoking pot. I was smoking pot. You want to hang out and you want to fit in. You smoking pot, I guess. Drinking beer. I've never been a beer drinker. Never been a beer drinker. But I mean, I drink beer because it's a something to socialize. You know what I'm saying?
But you're an athlete. You have your thing. You didn't.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
You're good. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
hey, Paul, thank you for being here, first of all. I'm one of the teachers in Burton High School. Again, really thank you for sharing your story and your insight of your life. I think everyone, you have a great story, and I think everyone should really know about it. I got a question for you, and then I'm gonna read some other questions in the chat. We have some student that is, giving some questions right now, and that's great. So again, students, if you want some questions, please type it in the chat. The teachers will read it out for you. Read it out for Paul in a little bit, okay? But first of all, I do want to know about that pivotal moment in your life that, like, hey, you know what? These drug scenes, sharing these needles is too much. I need a change. What was that pivotal moment in your life? Like, who was around you to support you? What were you thinking at the time? How you bounce back, right? How you recover from that moment of your life?
It's kind of deep because I'm gonna tell you what, there's a lot of stories like that. I was strung out after making all that money and become world champion. After I became world champion, after 5 years, 1990, I became world champion. 5 years later, I'm living in the streets in Vegas, strung out, had a construction job, lost that. Living in my truck, lost the truck. I hit a bottom, and you think I would stop doing drugs? I'm already got no place to go. I kept on doing drugs. That's the worst thing I still kept on doing drugs. I'm like, God, I would like to say this is a turning point right here where I'm gonna share right now. I haven't ate for 3 days. Mom said, go, Mom, I call Mom, they got tired of sending me money. They knew I was buying drugs. Their family got tired of sending me money. So go ask somebody to go panhandle $1 or $2 for you get something to eat. I couldn't do that. I had too much pride for me. I couldn't do it. So the third day, I'm like, man, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten 3 days in it. I'm at Burger King right there. I saw a guy taking out trash in the Burger King trash can, a big old bin. I said, man, I'm starving my butt, man. I couldn't go because people walking Vegas Strip, people walking all night, 24/7. So I went back about 25 minutes later, whatever. I said, there's still a lot of people walking back. I went back about the third time. I said, screw this. Excuse me. I'm gonna jump in that trash. I'm hungry. It's gonna be 4 days without no food. I jumped in that trash can. And I lay down. I was like, oh my God. And the moon was out and it was hot in the summertime. You know that. Vegas. I opened a bag and there was a little kid hamburger, but the little kid hamburger had one bite. Had one bite in it. Only had one bite. I had a full hamburger, just one bite of it. I'm opening this trash bag.
Thank you for sharing.
And I came up. I go, how? I'm thinking to myself, how could I come up? How could I come up? Because I came up, I'm in a trash can. I got one burger in my hand. I'm in a trash can eating a kid's burger. I go, how the hell could I come up, man? But I did came up. I ate that burger and I was like, oh my, I was fulfilled, that one burger. I jumped out. You think that would quit? That would be my turning point? No, it was my turning point. I kept on using time. But it was hard. That was the hard part for me. It still hurts. You know what I'm saying? I read a part when I got the book. I read the beginning, middle of the book, and there was a part. I opened it up, and that's why I got the book right here, and I haven't even read it. I opened the middle of the book, and my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend told me, read the book, read the book. And I'm not gonna read it. And I opened one of the book and I saw the part where it brought me back to a bad time, and I closed the book. I don't want to read it. I'm cool. I saw one sentence in the middle of the book. And that was it.
Well, you know your own story, and that's probably why. And it may bring you to these times. You know, maybe it's tough to remember, but it's hard. What is good is that you are a fighter, just like you were a fighter in the ring. You're a fighter in life, and you are back up. And now you're helping kids. You're helping adults to be better and to not get there. You're sending a message to them to that this can be better.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. That was yeah, that was a very
I'm
insightful.
gonna tell you. So what happened was there's a lot of times that happened in my life, but yeah, but like she said, I thought I in and out. I mean, rehab, OD, and all that. Overdose one time, guy, and you think I would quit? I've been in a lot of rehab. Anyways, September 24th, 2014, I got sober. I walked in the room of AA. There's another world champion boxer. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was in there. And I walked in there. I was like, man, you know what? I got tired. And you know what? I was like, man. And ever since then, the best thing ever happened to me. Being a world champion was great. Being a grandfather, being a father with 3 kids was great. Being a grandfather, I didn't think that was gonna happen. But the best thing ever happened to me, I got clean and sober. You know what I'm saying? Also, I got, my other story. Oh my God. We don't got time to be closing pretty soon, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna close pretty soon. But we have another. You're gonna meet with the 6th period class too, so you'll be able to
Are
share
you
more
be
of your
there?
story too.
Are you be there?
Let's just go over some of the questions. A lot of the students just kind of want to know more about how's it like being pro boxer. What do you like about boxing? What kind of got you into that scene? Can you briefly share about that?
Yeah, being a boxer was fun, like I said. I mean, when you play sport, it was fun. I got TV exposure too at a young age. I was in high school. I got the exposure. I'm not gonna lie, I like that exposure. Even today, I like that on Facebook. I like that exposure. But I was in high school. I got a little popular in high school because ABC all sports, but it was fun traveling all over. It was a fun. It was a fun sport. Any sport is fun. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be liked, just like on Facebook. Everyone wants to be liked on Facebook.
Great, thank you for sharing that. Another one is, how did your family kind of support you? I know that your mom is around a lot, but how was she? Did she ever support you? Did she ever encourage you? Can you share a little bit about that?
My mom, you gotta understand, my mom was in the beginning. My mom, I was living with my aunt and uncle at 14 years old. I lived with my aunt and uncle at 14. As a boxer, I lived all over. I lived in 5 different states. But I raised with my aunt and uncle till I was 21 years old. But my mom was in my life in the beginning of my career. And as a professional, she came around and hang out with me and all that too. But my mom was raised with me. But
Great, thank you. Let's see, is there anyone?
So from your book, I wanted to say, let's see, wanted to read the last part here. Boxing earned me some good money and I blew it all up, but I'm richer now. I'm richer now than ever, because the difference now is that I am surrounded by positive people. I have a girlfriend, I have a family, I have friends, and my birds, my dogs, and the support of the boxing family, that they always embrace you and brings you. And now, yeah, embrace you. And now you're giving it back by training people, which that was another question. Do you still train kids, people? So.
Hi, Juliet. All right, we're good.
Sorry.
All right. Let's see. So it's almost time to go. Now I want to know the final message that you want to leave to our students, right? What is the final message? What is one thing that you think everyone should know, and that could really strive them to be a better version of themselves? So what is that thing?
Well, like I said, whatever they do in life, you're gonna get obstacles come at you no matter what. Everybody's gonna come at you. Everything's gonna come at you. You just keep going forward no matter what. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. Do what you just go do what you do. You don't need to do the drugs thing. It happens. Like people always get caught up in that stuff. Not everybody. Just go forward. Just go forward. Um, life is crazy as it is already, especially this coronavirus. Stay safe out there right now because of coronavirus. But just go straight. So, and again, I don't care if you're shooting marbles, being a rapper, a singer, being anything. Just keep doing what you're doing, and it gets better and better. And because if you do play, if you play baseball, you keep practicing, you become a baseball player. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing what you're doing. If you want to be a cop, be a cop. If you want to be a husband, that's okay. Everything, you know what I'm saying? Shoot for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Paul, I just want to throw in there also, I know you went running this morning, like what, 5 o'clock? You still got that, that heart where you're still striving to get better. Talk about that real quick.
Well, you know what? I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. I'm gonna go train. I'm going to El Paso in a week. Go train about 4 or 5 cops out there. Police. And now I'm training police. Before they're after me, now I'm training them. What? But I'm going. But also training. I got 9 cousins out there. I'm gonna be training to fly me in. I just got back from Florida last week, and so that was a blessing. And they invited me over there. I'm poor. They put me over there. That's cool. But I gotta keep running. Plus, you know what? I don't know nobody knows about the coronavirus. Nobody knows, but I gotta keep jogging because you know what? I got a little gut too. But I want to keep fit. And I ran 4:45 this morning on my Facebook story. I put music on it. But what happened is I gotta keep going. I'm an athlete. I'm a professional athlete. I'm
Thank you.
56 years old. I'm not a young buck no more. I act like I'm a young buck. I'm not, but I act like I'm a young buck. I thank God my life is better today. So much better. I kept forward. I didn't quit. I did not quit. I did not quit. You understand? I did not quit. I wanted to quit times. There was times I wanted to quit so bad when I came with the virus. I wanted to quit so damn bad, but I didn't quit. I just kept on going. That's in me naturally. Thank God, you know what I'm saying? But I kept on going. Even today, I still want to keep going. I wish I was fine today, you know what I'm saying? I'll slow down and get hyper. My bad.
Thank you, everybody. It's 10 o'clock, and I know you have a class that you have to go to, but we want to thank you, Paul, for being brave, to sharing your story, because it's not easy, but you are here to make a change. And I know we have touched lives, and we have sent the message, even though it may not be direct. I know we have made change. Thank you, everybody. Paul, you can
Picture.
I want to come. I
Take
want
a
to come work
picture.
with all the kids. I want to come
Paul,
work with all the kids.
can we have
We need
everybody